During the last decade of his career, the Nobel Prize winner was an emblem of brilliant but increasingly dated concepts, still venerated for his unerring perspicacity, as well as the uncompromising quality of his work, but progressively at variance with his colleagues and eventually blank the academic community. There's an important contrast here and here. Whenever you have a contrast, it's likely to have positive as well as negative elements. So brilliant is positive but increasingly dated. Although he was brilliant, his concepts were increasingly becoming outdated during the last decade of his career. So he was still venerated, which means respected, for his unerring perspicacity. To be perspicacious is to be insightful, intelligent, and the uncompromising quality of his work. So this is positive, this is positive, this is positive, and again we have a negative word. We have the contrast, which tells us that this part has to be negative, and so does this part. At variance, he differs from his colleagues, he doesn't really get along with them. So we are looking for a negative word. Once we have determined that, we can look at the choices. Lauded is positive. Lauded means to be applauded, to be praised. Appreciate is a positive word. Accept is a positive word. That leaves us with three choices, which are all fairly close to each other. Antagonized by the academic community, which means opposed to, so which matches the meaning of at variance. Antagonized comes from the prefix anti, which means against. So he is increasingly at odds with his colleagues. He is increasingly antagonized by them. Alienated, to be estranged, to be divided, to be separated, to not get along with. Alienated is pretty close to the meaning of antagonized. Excommunicated is also close, but let's look at the implications of the word. Excommunication is a term that originates from the medieval church, which used to bar people from society. The church was the head of state, so it would excommunicate people, scientists such as Galileo, for example, who found information that was at odds with what the church believed or prescribed. So anybody who went against the state would basically be cast out of society, would not be welcome in society. So excommunication is the act of deliberately boycotting someone and making them an outcast. So the sentence is not saying that the academic community boycotted him and cast him out. It is he who was at variance with his colleagues and antagonized by them. So he was not excommunicated from the community but alienated from it. B and F are the best choices.